Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser First Edition. Let's just say this just became my favorite off-roader SUV. In fact, it became my favorite SUV. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front, and this thing looks really cool. Now, I was a little bit confused because the paperwork that we usually get with the press loaners tells us it's literally the window sticker, and it was saying that this color was sand. And then I was kind of building my own because, yeah, after driving this thing, you're gonna want to start looking into one. It said it was trail dust, or trail dust was the option for this color. So I'm not sure. I don't know if the paperwork, the sticker just kind of had a generic color to it. Whatever you want to call it, awesome is it. It's really, really nice. I love this. I love the fact that we have the two-tone as well with this option. It just adds more to it than just being one single whole color. The roof being a different color really breaks it up. The color is just incredible. You also get that blue, which is really, really nice. I like that blue as well. Now, with this being the first edition, we do get round lights. So what are you? Are you round headlight gang, or are you rectangular headlight gang? Let me know. Let me know which one you like. Now, for 2024, we have the 1958, which is the base model Land Cruiser. Then we have the Land Cruiser, which is the mid-grade. And then we have the first edition, which is this top end. So you do get the round circles headlights for the first edition and the 1958. Now for 2025, this no longer is available. So go to your dealerships, local dealerships. If you want the first edition, you're gonna have to go find it. With that being said, now that we only have the 1958 and the Land Cruiser trim, yeah, you're gonna have to kind of decide if you want circle headlights, you're gonna sacrifice some of the cool things that the Land Cruiser trim gets with the rectangular headlights. But either way though, I think they look great. I can't decide which one I like. Sometimes I like the circle, sometimes I like the rectangle. What I can tell you though is we have some other cool things with this. We have this nice big Toyota grille that just looks really awesome. It's very bold. Even though it's a tiny kind of opening, it's really bold. And then we have the fog lights down here, which have been incredible. I love the way that these look. They're from Rigid and they shine in yellow, which is what you need in fog lights to cut through the actual fog. So loving that. And then at the bottom, we have the front-facing camera here, which has been really nice with this 360-degree system with some protection down below in case you want to take this guy off-roading. But overall though, I am in love with this thing. Again, whether you go circle or rectangle, you can't go wrong. You really can't. So let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder iForce Max hybrid engine. And it is cranking out 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed auto and then to the full-time 4-wheel drive system. Now, this is a big sore spot for a lot of people. Yes, we didn't get a V8. Yes, we didn't get a V6. We got an inline 4 for the Land Cruiser. I know, but hear me out. The power delivery is really good. It's really linear. It's available at every RPM, and that's because that hybrid system really fills in the gaps till the turbo kicks in. But you don't feel the turbo kicking in because they work so well together to deliver such a linear, basically naturally aspirated feel. It really does. But the fact that you have those other components to give you the bigger kind of boost of power, no pun intended, it's great. I love it. And the 8-speed really helps get that power and make the most out of that power. So many times I've reviewed vehicles that have a great engine and great power delivery, but the ratios are just completely off. They work really well with this engine and the hybrid system. So yeah, It's just really, really good. Loving that. And then we have the full-time four-wheel drive system, which has been just incredible. And what I like about, again, going back to the engine, is that we get enough power that you can do a full-time four-wheel drive system. There's been many times where I get an engine that is just so weak, and we get an all-wheel drive system that is just pointless because there's even not enough power to spin the front wheels, much less the rear wheels for this. But not with this. Now, you're not going to be doing burnouts in this, but you can get the power to those wheels. You have plenty of power that goes to those wheels. And that four-wheel drive system is just incredible. With all the different modes that this thing has, which we'll take a look at, it's just really, really nice. And yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. I was kind of surprised. I was expecting it to sound worse than it does, so it's not too bad. It can behave in eco mode. It can be snappy in sport mode. It can do it all. Yeah, really impressed with this. So let's go ahead and take a look at those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have this nice matte black 18-inch wheel, and it is wrapped in the 265/70 Michelin LTX trail tire. Now, a couple of things with this. With this being the first edition, we do get a matte black wheel. Everyone else gets a matte gray option. So, yeah, little distinction between that. Honestly, yeah, I kind of like the black. It looks good. It looks good. The design is really cool as well. Very simple, but very tasteful. It works really well with the Land Cruiser. The tires, yeah, they're great. They're super quiet. They have been exceptional at, really telling you what the vehicle is doing. It's absorbing the road like crazy as well, in the best possible way. It has been so good at just kind of going through bumps because you don't really feel it. Now, that's not just the tire though. And I want to move over to the suspension. It is so perfectly dialed in for everyday driving and for off-roading as well, because it can flex. And I'll go ahead and show you a little clip of the Land Cruiser going through some off-road obstacles, which was just exceptional. On everyday roads though, it has just been perfect. There's no gimmick of like, put it in this setting or do this and that. It's gonna be good on one thing but bad on, no, it is just exceptional at everything. I have been so impressed. And you get a stabilizer disconnect as well, which is good if you need it to articulate even more. So loving that. The brakes have been awesome. The feedback they give you is just, I'm just blown away at how good this setup has been. And that's why I think this has been probably my favorite SUV, because I don't have to sacrifice comfort and quality over, for ruggedness and capability. This does it all. It doesn't even feel like a body on frame. Like, I literally had to check under and I'm like, this cannot be it. This has to be unibody. But it's not. It's a frame under there. So it doesn't drive like a body on frame, like pickup truck kind of feel to it, which is why this blows my mind at how good it is. Yeah, we're gonna move on because I can speak about this for a while. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have on the side. We get to the side and this thing looks really cool. I love it. It's boxy design. It's my design language that I love. It looks really cool. Love it. So let's kind of break it down. Yeah, in the front we have a very almost straight hood on there, but we do get the divots in the middle to help out with that field of vision or sight lines, so to speak. I do like the lines we get here though. It looks like it's kind of scooped out and then it flares out here for the fender, which it's just really cool to see at kind of the angle, which you saw a little bit when you were kind of at the front angle. And we have some protection here, so we have the plastic cover over the fender. We take a look at the wheels and yeah, they look good. The wheel and tire package looks great on this, nice size on them as well. Not too big, but not small, so we can still fit a nice size brake in there for good braking power, which it really does have. But loving that. Now, one thing I was really frustrated with are these guys, these mud flaps. So I don't know, let me know, Land Cruiser owners, if you guys dealt with this problem. But when we were driving, I just kept hearing this noise of something hitting, and it was driving me crazy to the point I lowered the radio. My kiddo heard it the most with him being in the back, and I think it's the mud flaps not hitting the tire, but that little strap just kind of making it stay, and it creates a warbling, like kind of, you know, like when you get a piece of sheet metal and you're just kind of doing that. That's what it kind of felt like it was sounding, but it sounded like a rustling as well. So yeah, not a big fan of those. So I wish we would have had maybe some hard plastic, some not flexible plastic like these are. Besides that though, we do get some protection down here, which was really nice. Not really a step, so just kind of be aware, it's more for protection. So you do have to kind of still just hop into the Land Cruiser itself. They do sell what I think they're called the Predator steps, which are a little bit of protection with a step on them there. So that's kind of the way that I would go for something down here. And then we have the mirrors, which love-hate with them. I love the design. I love how cool they look. We have the 360-degree camera system for them. They're tiny. They're tiny and they're tall. So taller than they are wider. And I was kind of wanting a little bit further out to get more visibility in my blind spot, but it did great at telling me there is someone in my blind spot because it has the blind spot sensors. So don't be afraid of it. It's fine. They're actually a really good system because it actually did it for a motorcycle, which I've had some vehicles that haven't had it, and especially driving my Miata. I've purposely kind of tested them for other people, and when I see that they don't see that I'm in their blind spot, the sensor, I back off or I accelerate forward. So these guys though were really, really great. So loving that. Then we get the framing around the windows, which is black, which I really like. Then we get the top, which is the white roof. Love this two-tone option. It looks so good. You can see how much it just breaks it up and it gives it a more life to the design. And up here we have a roof rail with a kind of a platform up there. So liking that, if you're needing to, you know, attach more storage, you have the bars that kind of go across as well. So loving that, and it looks cool. I didn't hear any noise from it either. So that was another thing that was good. I like that design. I've had other vehicles that it's even a slimmer design was just so noisy. But yeah, Toyota, you nailed it with the design for that. And that's kind of what you get on the side. It looks really, really cool. Now I do have my key fob in my pocket. I'll go ahead and reach, open up, has a sensor, and I'm good to go. I can go ahead and close this off, lock it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the black handles, which looks so good. And then I go to the back, and yeah, I don't have a sensor back here. Yeah, I'm having to kind of do this and then open up. And then big door though, so really easy to get in. Close that off and then lock. Yeah, at this point I'm kind of nitpicking, but I'd like the sensor back here because sometimes I take my kid out, and if I'm holding things, it'd be nice to just kind of close it and go ahead and lock it from the back. But that's kind of what you get, and it's really nice. So let's go ahead and see what we have back there. We get to the back, and this thing gets even better. I love this rear design. A couple of things. So starting at the top, we have the white roof continuing onto the spoiler that we get at the top. We get this nice big rear glass. We do have a rear camera for rear view mirror. Now, it's been a hit or miss because I just cannot dial in perfectly the height. So I have had a problem with that. I'll show you, I had a Beetle behind me, which I thought, oh cool, let me take a picture. Yes, I will stop, don't worry. But all I could get was just the roof. So I couldn't get too much. And then if I dropped it down, you know, other vehicles, I was looking at their grills. It was just, yeah, I don't have the height for it with the rear camera. So everything else though was good except for that. But yeah, it's kind of hidden right in here behind this glass. And we have the rear wiper here. We have a nice big Toyota badge here. We have the Land Cruiser. We have the iForce Max, obviously with this being the hybrid engine. We do get this rear bumper here, which is nice plastic, but it feels very durable. And I don't know if you can really stand on these, but yeah, they can really take on a good amount of weight. So if you need a little bit more kind of corner access to get some stuff up there, which is nice. Then the taillights have a nice design to it. We have the LED kind of framing around them, but really simple, but nice texture to the design internally of that taillight. Then we get the diaper. Yes, I don't know if it just is in the Land Cruiser, but in the GX, it didn't look this obnoxious. It does look pretty bad in here. So I think this is the only thing I dislike, which I would probably take off. So this is for your towing. It's your towing cover. I'd probably take it off and yeah, be towing my Miata, because this thing can tow 6,000 pounds. So that means the typical 5 that I'm like, okay, maybe we could do, you know, in case heavy trailers, that kind of stuff, my Miata being about 2,500 pounds. Yeah, we get the option of having that additional 1,000 that not a lot of SUVs offer. So this diaper, yeah, I'd probably find some aftermarket option. Yeah, whatever the case is, that's kind of what we get back here. Love it. Oh yeah, and you can see the lovely mud flaps that like to make a lot of noise. They look cool, but yeah, it was just kind of annoying. So I did have to crank up that JBL system in there, which sounds incredible. That's what we get. Now, I want to show you guys, because we have a little button here, and everyone's favorite. Yes, so we can open up the rear glass, and that's where you see the rear camera system there. Oh, but we got the actual rear camera system down there for the 360 view. But overall though, this is really cool. So let's go ahead and close that off, and let's take a look at what we have in here. So we get to the back, and again, there's a couple of things. I can go ahead and open this to just be the rear glass, and you can see you can really just kind of grab things if you need to, or yeah, if your dog goes back here, say hi to him, that kind of stuff. And yeah, you gotta give it some give it some love to close that. But we have that, and then we can also open up just kind of the whole hatch by pressing there underneath the Toyota sign. And we open up, and we have a good amount of space. So in other markets, this is a 3-row SUV, hence why we have these guys back here. So we do get cup holders, we do get charging there, as well as on the other side there. So we have on both sides, and it does take a little bit away from the storage. So just kind of be aware that it's not a full, just kind of a flat or just kind of a full, like across, like open area. So it does kind of bump out a little bit, which isn't too bad, because we get this platform, and that's where the battery is. So it's actually underneath there, and we have this nice rubber cover, which is definitely what you want if you have pets, or if you just want to keep things nice and clean, as opposed to getting the actual carpet dirty. But underneath here, we have this little bit of storage area there, and then that platform, and forward is all that battery system for the hybrid. In other markets, yes, this is the 3rd row, which kind of goes up, and you have that. Honestly, I don't care that we have this here, because it does take a little bit of depth, but I prefer this over a 3rd row SUV that Honestly, I don't think this would make a good third row SUV because of the space, but we do have great storage though. So we have that. We have a power hookup here, which is nice to have. We do get some tie down points, one down here and one there, which kind of peeks over from the mat itself. So yeah, nice to have that opening still available. And then over here on the left hand side, we have the actual car battery. So the car battery's in there, and then your bottle jack is in here. We have a little bit of a light, which is nice, and an area for right here to connect, essentially like a mesh net that you typically get. And we have a cover, which I don't know where. Oh yeah, you would hook up here, which I don't know if it's available in the US, but that would actually be nice to use to, you know, be able to cover what we have back here. But it's a lot of nice big space, so love that. And the other thing that's really cool is when you kind of look up, if you have this open and you're sitting inside with your cup holders, yes, you get your cup holders, you get these speakers to entertain you, the JBL system, which has been really, really good, nice and clear. We have these lights as well to illuminate if you are working here or just have, you know, need to look at your trunk area. But loving this, a lot of functionality, a lot of great things. Oh yeah, and we have the with this being the third row, we have, or not having the third row, we still get the AC vent back here, which is good in case you have a pet. You want to make sure that they're nice and warm or nice and cool. You have that option. Yeah, it's just, you can see why I'm really, really loving this vehicle, because there's so much functionality to it. And then just a matter of closing that, and that's what you get in the rear. We take a look at the door, and I'll be honest with you, it's a little plain looking. It could have really taken advantage of a lot of the design, but with the fact that it's just all one color, yeah, it was kind of a letdown. And what I mean by that is, with this being the first edition, we do get this first edition here. Give me a different colored panel here. Give me something like a caramel color or something different, you know, red if you want, just something different, or emboss this, or just like make this a, I don't know, something else. But we get that, and it's comfortable up here. Not an issue with putting my arm there to rest. Same thing on the actual armrest here, so no complaints. Then on the side here, we have the controls. The only thing is that the saved settings are a little bit kind of tucked in there, so just kind of be aware of that. I was looking for them a little bit, and yeah, they kind of, with your kind of field of view, they can get kind of lost there, so just be aware of that. But yeah, controls are really easily available. We do get the water bottle holder. I wish we had another one, because yeah, there's not much additional storage. It's just very, very slim, and it gets to even a smaller area back here. And then we have the speaker. Yes, the JBL speakers sound incredible. Unfortunately, they don't look that good though. Like, come on, I wish we had some other type of grill, but I get it. We have to be durable, so that's I prefer that they sound incredible, because they do, over them looking great and then not sounding great. So that is what you kind of get with the door. I wish there was a little bit more to this, but hey, I'll take it, because everything else is just so good. We take a look at the seats, and these things are awesome. I love these things. They are so comfortable, nice soft material. They have a great design to it. Adjustability is there. The height, the, you know, lean, the everything is just really good. We have both the heated and the cooled option. Yeah, again, I wish we had a little bit more lively stitching, especially with this being the first edition. So I understand if we had it on the other models, but I wish we had a little bit more life. Maybe, again, that kind of like a caramel strip here, or, you know, some stitching on there as well, and not just that white stitching that looks like we're gonna just do this because we kind of ran out of stitching. But yeah, that's kind of what you get. Again, the heating option was great this morning when it was 30 degrees, and it was great yesterday when it was 70, 80 degrees. So for the cooling option. So loving that though, super comfortable, no complaints, just a great package overall. We get some rubber floor mats, which have been a nice touch. You can see definitely with, getting in and out of all these different areas that it can keep things clean as opposed to this stuff going onto your actual carpet. Yeah, love the design. Again, maybe would have liked a little bit more life to this, but they work, which is the important thing. We take a look at the steering wheel, and this thing is nice. So one thing, I wish we had more kind of cushion to it. So it is kind of on a thinner side in the sense of you're gonna feel essentially the frame of the wheel itself. So it's not a small wheel though, so the frame is really big. There's just not much cushion between the frame and the basically your hand. But what makes up for it though is the soft leather. So the material itself, the outer material, is really soft. Yeah, missed opportunity. I wish we had better stitching. Yeah, maybe that sand color would have been really nice, or caramel color that I know you have, Toyota. But yeah, it's positioning. My hand fits really nicely there. We do have the controls on the left hand side here. We have for the infotainment screen there. We have the volume up and down little I guess it's not a knob, whatever these things are, but it's not bad. I like it. And then on the right hand side we have our cruise control options right above there, and we also have our next and previous track buttons there. We have the airbag, which is a nice shape. Would have been nice to have something else as far as color, with this being the first edition, or just give me more life to this. We don't have any paddle shifters, so gear changes are going to happen with the gear lever, which we'll take a look at. And yeah, that's kind of what you get with the wheel. We get over to the gauge cluster, and this thing is just awesome. It really is. And I'm kind of a little disappointed. It is a love-hate with this. The hate I have for it is I don't have enough screen for it. And I'll tell you why. And that's a good thing, because the reason I love this is there are so many options to this. So basically what you need to do is push down and hold on the OK button, and now you can basically change the parameters. Now, actually, before I do that, let me go back, and you can have up to 3 presets. So you have this, which I put the turbo PSI on the left and the battery on the right. And then on the second one, I have the MPGs on the left and the PSI on the right. And then for my third one, I have my temperature gauges on the left, and then my off-roading things on the right. So we'll stay on 3, because that's the one kind of I use the least. And I push down and hold it, and there's 3 sections. So I love this, and because there's just so many great options, and I think that's kind of what makes it so difficult to really pick. So we have the engine temperature, we have the turbo gauge, we have the electric boost gauge, we have blank, fuel economy, navigation, audio, pitch and roll, and again we have that. And then in the middle we unfortunately don't have much. So we do have map, we do have settings, message, blank, and then driving support. I've had it basically driving support because that's the one that actually does anything really. And then on the right side we get different options. So we get the pitch and roll, we get the trailer brake, we get the auxiliary gauges here, and we get engine like we do on the temperature gauges like we have on the left, turbo gauge, electric boost gauge, and blank. You can see why it's so difficult, and to have to kind of just deal with 3. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome that we have all this, functionality with this. So thank you, Toyota. But now I want more screens. I want more saved presets to this. But other than that, though, I give this 12 stars or 12 rating out of 10, whatever you want to say. It basically just knocked it out of the park with all the options that you have. So it's really great. Again, the one that I've been pretty much on has been this, just because it's been my fun factor kind of thing. but it's just been exceptional. We get over to the infotainment screen, and this thing is nice. I like it. So a couple of things. It's a widescreen over, obviously a squared or vertical screen. So I like that. We have a good length to it there. And we have the wireless Apple CarPlay, which has been exceptional. Been blasting my songs really loud in this. I'm not a sunroof person, and I've had the windows down, sunroof open, and just enjoying myself driving this, especially with this JBL sound system. But the screen is really good. Nice brightness to it. You can see kind of my field of view. It's out of the out of the way. It's not covering any of your visibility, and it just works. It is exceptional. Very easy to navigate the system as well, and yeah, no complaints about this. Oh, and we have our volume knob here, which, yeah, I kind of wish we had this maybe over here or somewhere else that maybe your passenger can get, because I have obviously the controls here on the steering wheel, and this is kind of not much further away from that. So that's probably the only thing, but that's what you get there. We get over to the climate control system, and this has been a battle. I don't know why, but for some reason the AC function always has to be turned on. I don't know why. I must be doing something wrong. It can't be this poor of a design. So let me know what I'm doing. Is it auto that's kind of setting it off? Because it is 43 degrees outside and it's 61 is what I've set it, because I just can't get any. It's coming out a little bit, but regardless, I've been struggling with it. I'm having to take off auto and just basically set it myself, and also just kind of rear everything. It's been resetting every single time. I'm not a big fan of it. I must be doing something wrong though. So let me know in the comments, because that would really help if I decide to get one of these. This was a battle that was frustrating. We come down a little bit and we have 3 USB-C connections, which is really nice. The fact that we have, not just one, not just 2, but actually 3 power hookups is really nice to kind of have, especially if you're charging a GoPro, you're charging a GPS system, you're charging a, phone, iPad. You can charge multiple devices here. And on top of that, we have, well, technically below it, we have the wireless charger. So let's go ahead and do our chuck test. And did we pass the chuck test? We did, and we passed it with flying colors. Yeah, this thing has been so easy to just literally chuck my phone in there, and it's gonna grab it. It's gonna stay charging too, which is the big thing as well. So it's charging, it stays charging, it actually charges, unlike some that just kind of keep you at the same percentage. So this has been exceptional, to the point where I'm like, why do we even need 3? But then we need 3, and it's awesome that we have 3 USB-C connections. So yeah, we have that. And then obviously we have a little area here where we can put kind of, obviously we don't put the keys and that kind of stuff, but we can put other things in there for that side there. But yeah, overall, loving this wireless charger there. We get to the shifter, and the shifter is nice. It's big. It's like you are committing to that actual gear. And we also get the manual mode, which is nice. And we have the up for up gear, down for down gear. But yeah, looks good, feels good. No complaints with it there. Then we come over to the cup holders, and the cup holders have been nice. No complaints about them. Big, they have a gap between them, so big bottles, big cups, not going to be a problem with that. Then we come back to the armrest, and the armrest has been really good, nice and soft. And we have something cool about this, and that's that this can turn into a cool box. So we press that button, and then we could technically have put our water bottle in here, and it will go ahead and keep them cool. And it works. I've used this before, and I was surprised at how cold it kept it. Yeah, today's cold, but I've done it also on hot days. One thing that I'm sure Toyota Legal had a blast with is this no fish or meat in the cool box? Yeah, that's pretty entertaining. And I know Toyota lawyers have a story that caused this to occur. But yeah, that's pretty entertaining. Now, yes, I did skip over all of this because this is, get ready for this. This is all the functionality we get for drivetrain kind of things. So, couple of things. We have 3 buttons. We have drive mode, multi-terrain select, and DAC across here. And we have the mode select. So basically you're needing to push one of these and this knob will apply to those. It takes a little to kind of get used to because you're kind of thinking this is on its own, and then this would just kind of be like, okay, drive modes, eco sport mode, and normal kind of thing. And then, you know, multi-terrain select kind of this, but it doesn't work that way. It's you push the button and then you turn the knob. So drive modes, I go ahead and I push my drive mode button and I turn the knob, and we can go from eco to normal to sport. So that's it. You're wondering, well, what? That's it? Like, you know, you're an off-roader. Why don't you have off-road mode? Well, that's because you have to go to multi-terrain select. So when you go to multi-terrain select, yes, we uncover the fun. So we have auto, we have dirt, and we have sand, we have mud, and we have deep snow. So yeah, that's where you get the fun modes. So not just the eco, normal, and sport. This is where you have the fun. And then we go to the crawl control. And there we have the basically the hill descent kind of thing for this, and it's essentially going to be moving the vehicle for you. But yeah, that's kind of what we get with these. Yeah, it's just the fun modes. To add to the fun, we have some other buttons. Traction control off. We have the stable bar. Yes, basically your stabilizer. So you can have stabilizer disconnect from right in here. And then we have the rear diff lock and then the center diff lock. We also have the option of going from 4 high to 4 low. So we have that. And then we also have the brake hold, which I've had to activate every single time. Let me know if you know of a way to permanently set it to always be on. I'm wondering if it's something with the users that you can kind of log into it. But yeah, that's kind of what you get with the fun kind of drivetrain selection, off-roading, on-roading fun. We get to the back end, again, a little bit of lackluster kind of life to it. We get the first edition right up here. We have, it is a soft material. We have more of that soft material here. We have the control for the window, and we do have the JBL tweeter there, along with the more, you know, larger mid-range speaker. So we have that, and then we have for water bottle holder, which actually has for 2 of them. So your rear passengers have 2 on, obviously, on each side. Then we get over to the interior, and yeah, this thing is nice. I love the feel to these materials. Again, just wish we had more life to the design. We have my kiddo's seat, which was not too bad. The only thing is, yeah, it's Velcro, so it latches there and there. My only concern is this has to kind of stay up. So I don't know. He hasn't complained about it, so I may just be overthinking it. But I'm wondering if this Velcro has gotten stuck to him because, again, it has to kind of sit up, or else if we kind of leave it like that, the seat isn't going to sit properly. So that's kind of the only kind of small thing that I see. And then when we bring down the armrest, we do have his favorite, which are his hidden cup holders on there. We don't have storage. It looks like you could have storage, so aftermarket, do your thing. We get that. Then we get the controls. So he does have his own climate system back here, so 3-zone climate, and then we also get the option for the power down there. So we do have some USB-C connections. We have 2, and then we have the 12-volt adapter there. And then we have the mats that are nice, you know, to keep things clean back here. But overall, though, this has been really nice. Now, I wish we could bring them down, but Yeah, there we go. So we can bring them down. And that's been the really cool thing about them, is that we can go ahead and just kind of open them up and, you know, put things there or grab things there. But again, we kind of lose the fact that we are unable to essentially move the seats back, but not a problem because we have a ton of legroom space. So loving this rear. My kiddo was loving it. He had a blast this week riding in this, not driving. But yeah, that's what you get in the rear. We go for a drive, and I've been going for a lot of drives. Let's go. I'll explain why. So I've been going on a lot of drives. I've been running a bunch of little errands on purpose. Yeah, I've had to go to UPS on a holiday weekend, and our UPS is a nightmare to kind of get in and out of. I don't care. I don't care because I got to drive this. And that was the biggest thing of like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go run that errand. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll go to the supermarket and pick up groceries and do our curbside in our supermarket. That's another pain in the butt to kind of get in and out of. Sure, I'll do it because this thing is incredible to drive. Yeah, it almost puts it 100% puts the GX 550 that I drove to shame. And we're not talking about the Overtrail. We are talking about the luxury trim that has the adaptive suspension. No, that was a nightmare to deal with. Turns out you have to put it in sport mode. With this, you don't have any fancy suspension modes. It's just dialed in. It just get the system right. I don't want to have to be fiddling with things, but there are some things to fiddle with that are fun to kind of work with here. But as far as the drive, as far as the want of driving a vehicle, this is like a 12 out of a 10 kind of situation. It has just been that much fun and comfortable and relaxing to drive. This has been such a big surprise, because I thought, okay, cool, we're gonna have I've driven for the 4Runner from Austin to North Dallas and back, and same with the Tacoma previous gens, so I know what these off-roaders and tons of Jeeps, I know what these off-roaders can kind of give you. And this completely changed my mind and how it just rides. It's just so nice to be in this. Yeah, and it's super comfortable too, just kind of putting myself in my sweet spot. Yeah, like I said, I could drive this thing, fill up multiple times, 1,000-mile road trips, and I'd be fine. Yeah, I'd really be fine. I'd be excited. I'd be loving the trip the whole time as far as being able to drive this. It has just been an incredible experience to be in something like this. Now, we're going to go ahead and switch this over to sport mode. Now, again, we have that mode selector situation where we button and then use the knob for whatever button is currently turned on. So we're going to go ahead, we're in drive mode, and we are going to put it into sport mode. And yeah, let's go ahead and give it some go. Now, it's not too bad. I was actually impressed by how quickly this little guy can get going up. Yeah, that 4-cylinder, it's really nice. I'm really surprised by it. The brakes have been good. The suspension has been incredible. Yeah, we took that a little bit, give it some go kind of thing. And again, this is definitely not the typical scenario for a vehicle like this. But you know what? It actually is performing really good. We get a good body roll, but we get a controlled body roll. We don't get a body roll that's just kind of like all over the place. So it's expectant that you're gonna get a little bit of a nosedive. You're gonna get a little bit of a body lean. But you know what? It catches it. And it gets the power distributed to where you want it to go. So if you for some reason want to take this out on a spirited drive, You can, but it's just a testament of that suspension to just kind of get the power down with that four-wheel drive system. It's just that good. It's really good, and the power delivery is, yeah, you couldn't even tell this is a turbocharged engine. It is that smooth and linear to get the power, and the 8 speeds are nice. Yeah, we have a good set of gear ratios that we can get going from a stop, keep going from a highway perspective, passing. So, man, I just can't praise this thing enough. It's been incredible. So we'll go ahead and see how good we do with the 3-point stop. So we're a little bit on the grass area. We can cheat with this one because it is capable of going a little bit more into the grass. Yeah, we got a little bit of a auto brake there, which is good for safety reasons. And yeah, we got it. Actually, that was pretty good. Yeah, I'm impressed by that. Now we've gone ahead and we set up our race box. It's our telemetry for our 0 to 30, 0 to 60 measures that we take. Also, you can use it as a drag timer and a lap timer as well. So yeah, it's a great little box. It's all in one, and a great company to work with. I'll go ahead and add my link in the description for a possible little discount. So let's go ahead and we'll set up. So we are in sport mode, and we have gone ahead and turned the traction control off because we don't really need it. I'm sure we're not going to have enough power to really spin all 4 wheels. So yeah, I think we're good. We're in 4 high because obviously we want to stay in 4 high. Let's go ahead and brake boost it a little bit. So let's talk times. 0 to 30 in 2.9 seconds and 0 to 60 in 8.23 seconds. Now, not bad. Again, this is a big SUV, and it's not really what it's made to kind of do, but it can still get it going. So that's really the impressive part about this. So, like I said, the big quality about this is the fact that we have a capable off-roader. And I say capable because I've driven this on an off-road course in our media drives, and let me tell you, it drives really nice off-roading, and it drives even nicer on paved roads. So yeah, it's incredible that we can get this big guy really rotated and get the power down. But then again, if I just want to kind of relax, I can just put this in eco mode and enjoy the ride. Yeah, half of the journey is getting there, right? So what better thing than to have a vehicle like this that you'll enjoy the journey. You'll enjoy the trip to the journey, the driving to the journey, so to speak. So yeah, this has been so damn impressive. I have just been in shock at how good this has been. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser First Edition. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.